Hey guys, it's Momtourage, the podcast about being a mom that thinks that most mom stuff is super boring. So we created our own posse. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Keri, and we are ready to walk you down the red carpet of motherhood.
Hello, Momtourage.
Hey. Hi, guys.
Oh,
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. It's another day in January. May I just say, this January is going exponentially quicker than last January. Remember last January felt like it was like 6 years long?
Yes. Hi, Mom. Mom's on the show. Sorry.
Maybe it's because, we've had such a long, shitty year, but
I think the new presidency helps, and that happened in the middle, so.
Yeah, that definitely helps. All right, well, welcome to Momtourage, the show for all the anti-mommy group moms just looking for their squad. We've got a great, fun show for you today. Keri's dressed like Stevie Nicks. I'm a thespian.
Now here you go. Isn't it? Well, it's the full moon, or yesterday was the full moon, and it's the was a full fox moon or something? I don't know. It's an
Wolf.
important moon. Wolf
The
moon.
wolf.
Oh.
All right, tell the people what's on this week's
All
show.
right, guys, we've got a great show. We're continuing with Treat Yourself 2021 all January long. We are bringing you guests and topics that focus on self-care, self-renewal, all the stuff you really need. And so far, we've discussed reinvigorating our sex lives, time management for mom life. Finances was last week. And this week, we are learning some new techniques to manage stress and anxiety.
That's right. We have Clay Drinko PHD, author of the new book, Play Your Way Sane, 120 improv-inspired exercises to help you calm down, stop spiraling, and embrace uncertainty. It's going to be a really good one.
You look like a beat poet holding up your latest. That's what you look like when you did that.
You know, I love my berets.
I know.
I'm just in my house, so I never have a reason to wear it anymore.
Today, it's literally like the two of us dressed up in costumes.
Yeah, pretty much. So we both were like, what are we going to wear today? A look.
I know. We were like, let's make it a distinct look. Oh, God, look at my wine teeth.
Nobody noticed until you did that.
Oh, God, it looks like terrible.
Speaking of wine teeth, let's get to our drinking game. Today, the word is play.
Like a thespian or like Stevie Nicks. Anytime any of us say the word play, it's your opportunity to drink. Do you want to try it out, Ash?
I think you try it. You're much better at the improving.
Yes, and Ashley. No, I was just going to say, do you play any instruments?
Hey! Oh, I was trying to think of something dirty.
I gave you something dirty. I know. I gave you something dirty in the sound check.
I know, but I can't say that. I can't say that.
All right.
We're drinking the usual. We're not even going to go over it this week. She's drinking red wine. I'm drinking tequila.
It's the same thing. I'll get interesting some point soon.
We don't stray too far from the classics.
That's right. All right.
But we have a great giveaway this week. Today, we are giving away a copy of Clay's new book. And in order to win, all you have to do is comment below or text us over at 918-352-MOMS and tell us what's been the most ridiculous thing to set you off in this past year. I don't have a most ridiculous, like everything has triggered me. Everything has set me off. It is like a bird flies in the wrong direction. And I'm like, fuck you, bird, you know?
Well, your son does too. If you listen to the podcast, your son is sort of on that same edge with you, telling people that they should go to jail all the time.
He does do that.
He hasn't told me I should go to jail.
He tells me I should go to jail. He told me today like 2 times that he was going to put me in jail. Man, I don't think he's one person who's been in jail. Like, this is not like a part of our regular.
Know what jail means?
I don't know. Paw Patrol doesn't have a jail.
No. Oh, well, you know.
What's been your thing?
When you invent a machine that only puts out pies, why go to jail? Anyway, sorry, guys. That was like a Paw Patrol episode dive. My apologies. I mean, I went crazy when my daughter's marker got on my brand new gift.
Yes.
I was like out of control. And I'm on I can't say this word, full squirrel attack. I'm like putting up little anti-squirrel devices. I'm going crazy deep.
Anti-squirrel devices and rubbing your plants with coconut oil. You have like gone full deep end suburban crazy quarantine.
Also, I actually do not recommend rubbing your plants with coconut. It turned out poorly. It did not go great. They're not thriving.
Oh my God. FYI, don't do it. Should we get to some drinking and dishing?
Let's do it, Ash.
Do you want to start? How was your week? What's new?
I mean, it's been pretty good. My mom was here visiting, and so we had like a nice time. Usually when my mom visits, I'm working like the whole entire time. That's why she's there. But this, I had some days off, so we like did family things together. It was really nice. I mean, like around the house, because obviously we're not going anywhere, but that was really nice. And then Luna's been really pretty good. Like, she's been super funny. Today she told me she shit her pants. And then I said, she goes, I pooped my pants. And I go, did you? Really? And she goes, I'm just kidding. So she started to say, I was like, where did she learn that? And then I was like, I think we should probably go upstairs. And she's like, that's a good idea, Mom. I'm like, what?
Like, who are you, tiny person?
It's so, she just like all of a sudden became this like real sassy old lady. It's hysterical. How about you, Ash?
Enjoy it, because next week it's probably going to be different.
I mean, in a couple hours, it might be different. That's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. I have not had like real time away from my kid in all of this. Like, usually Thursday nights he goes and stays with my parents so that we can do the show and uninterrupted. But this weekend I went with my parents someplace. He went with Matt to Matt's parents. And God, it was.
You were a different woman.
It was everything. It was everything I never knew that I needed. It was the best thing I've ever, and I did nothing. It's not like I was like living it up. I was just in bed in my onesie, just chilling with Clementine. I would take her for her long walks. I would clean her paws. Like these stupid mundane things were just so great. I actually missed Matt a lot. And then today, everyone reversed all the missing. Today I was like, all right, you guys all need to go the fuck away again. Yeah. All of you just go away. Sorry, Matt. But yeah, it was really, really, really great. And I think if you can do it, if you can get some time away from your kid and your partner, by all means, like, honestly, even for 2 days, that's what I had. It was magic. It was like better than a trip to Disney.
I don't know where you were going with that. You're like, it's better than a trip to Disney.
It was better than Dick.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
I just wanted a couple of orders of business. Guys, we are so late to this party. Like, obscenely late to this party.
To both these things you're going to announce, we're late to both of them.
We are so late, but this is what happens when you just have two women trying to run a business while also parenting.
Not that we're women, just that's we're describing ourselves. Like, that's what the way you made it sound. It sounded like you're like, well, that's what you get when you have two women trying to run a business.
Oh, like how many women does it take to change a light bulb type of thing? No, no, of course not.
I was like, actually,
I just mean we are women.
Right.
We are now on TikTok, and we are stupid on it. Embarrassing. We embarrass ourselves.
We embarrass ourselves.
We're figuring it out. We're just, I did some twerking on TikTok today.
I was really impressed with your twerking. I was like, you had a good jiggle bounce, jiggle bounce, jiggle bounce. It looked really
Sometimes
good.
You can actually tell I'm Hispanic. It's like,
yeah. I was like, what?
Tap into those things every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm really proud of myself. But at Momtourage, or do you say at for TikTok? Momtourage podcast. I feel so old right now. Also, we now
ampersand Momtourage. Especially with this headband and my black teeth. I was like, I'm no auntie. It's that ampersand Momtourage.
We also now have a private Facebook group for all you moms out there called the Momtourage Squad. Request to join. We're going to let you in. It's just a place for you to commiserate, ask for parenting advice without any mom shaming, share your mom fails, whatever. We'll probably ask you some inspirational shit here and there, wherever the day takes us.
What's your second favorite dinosaur? Stuff like that. No, not like that.
Can you imagine? Ew, why?
Because that's like what kids ask each other. Wouldn't that be terrible? Like a reverse role play?
Oh, should we get right to it?
Let's get right to it.
All right. Let me get my book handy. Today's guest earned his PhD in drama and theater studies, has 2 master's degrees, and for the past decade has researched improvisation and its applications. But that doesn't stop him from talking smack about the Kardashians, which is why we love him. Exactly. He is a regular contributor for Psychology Today and Lifehack, and a father of 1 beautiful little girl. He is the author of Play Your Way Sane, 120 improv-inspired exercises to help you calm down, stop spiraling, and embrace uncertainty. Welcome, Clay Drinko PHD.
Whoa, doctor! Yay! Is there a doctor
Clay
in the house?
Hi. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's really helpful to have like a theater and drama doctor on an airplane when somebody needs a doctor. Super helpful.
You're like, let me check.
Hold on.
What should we call you? Should we call you Clay? Should we call you Dr. Drinko?
Clay is good. Clay is great.
Okay.
Drinko is kind of hot. That's like
It's
That's
like
what
you have a PhD in partying.
my parents definitely wanted a Dr. Drinko, but I don't think this is what they had in mind.
Fun fact, I have 2 middle names, and the initials to those middle names are MD. This is, again, one of my Hispanic shows. And it's because my parents wanted me to be a doctor. And here we are, guys. Facebook live streams.
You're a
Dr.
doctor of
Dreams.
laughs. Yeah.
Yes.
We are so excited. Ever since I met you, I don't know, few months ago, and you were telling me all about the book, I was just super excited to have you on. Dr. Drinko, it is.
There you go.
But we thought that the best way to kind of give everyone an idea of what the book is really about is to start off with a game. So let's play Hotspot.
Look at those amazing look at
What?
that.
That's
Gorgeous.
fantastic.
I
love
impressed
that.
myself.
That's
I mean,
really good.
so good.
I'm the doctor of Canva. All right, Clay, can you walk us through this and tell us all about this? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, Hotspot is based on an improv game called Hotspot, and I've just adapted it for real life. So in the improv game, one person goes to the middle of the circle, and they're in the hotspot, and then they get a suggestion, and they just have to talk about, sort of riff and free associate on whatever word they're given, and then the other people have to go in and rescue them. So in my book, I've taken this game for real life, because you have those conversations that this person's talking about this and then that and the other thing, and then they run out of steam and there's just awkward silence. Yeah.
Yes.
So Hotspot is a great game to play in that situation where you just pick something that they said and riff off of it.
Oh,
and that's
I
it.
love that.
So who wants to be in the hotspot? So we need someone who's it. Keri?
I'll be in the hot
I know.
Guys, as an actor, improv is not my most comfortable thing.
Well, things to keep in mind. You don't have to be good. You don't have to try to be funny or creative. Like improv, you just have to say something, and then we'll keep it going. So Keri, your suggestion, Ashley, give her like one word suggestion.
Lipstick.
Lipstick. So Keri, you're going to just start talking about lipstick for a little bit, and then one of us, me or Ashley, is going to save you and start riffing off of whatever you've said. The idea is not to just keep talking about lipstick. We'll hear something else in what Keri says, and then take it to who knows where.
Okay.
All right. Ready? Go. Lipstick.
So in my opinion, there's only 2 kinds of lipstick, the kind that goes on your lips and then a dog erection. And you should never mix up the 2 because it is extremely awkward for everyone involved. You, your dog, the other dog's family.
I was once friends with a girl who had a boy dog, and she would talk about how she would have to invite the lipstick in order to clean him properly. And then I was like, you know what? Never getting a boy dog. That is absolutely revolting.
That reminds me of a conversation I had. Oh, can you still hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, that reminds me of a conversation I had with my husband. We have a dog. We've had the dog for a long, long, long time. And with the kid, too, we decided we will never get a dog ever again for as long as we live, which makes people feel like we're evil people, but I stand by it. I stand by it. No more dogs. And also, and is that making us?
And my husband also never wants another dog. I'm in a different camp. I say dogs forever. I want to have a dog bed and breakfast that it's called Pup of the Morning to you. And tiny St. Bernards come into your room as a wake-up call. And one of them has a barrel full of coffee. And the other one has the cups. It's a service at bed and breakfast. Pup of the Morning to you. It's in Ireland.
That's solid. That's a solid idea. That reminds me of something that I'm going to think of really soon.
You want me to jump in? That
Sure,
reminds me, my grandfather was actually like deathly afraid of dogs, which I think is, I always thought was the weirdest character trait of somebody to be like so, because we've never had big dogs. They've always been like these little yappy things. So to be so scared of them, I always thought was like bizarre, you know?
That reminds me of a dog I used to have, but no longer have. His name was Zeus. I rescued him. He was in a kill shelter because it was in his little report that he bit someone. And I was like, I'm a nice person. I'll like rehabilitate this dog, even though I have no know-how or ability to do so. Long story short, Zeus is now living outside of New Orleans with a very kind elderly lady.
Good for Zeus. Good for Zeus.
So how was it? How was Hotspot?
It was good. It was a little terrifying for me because I have this like improv block. So, you know, but I felt like you made it so like that was like an easy enough thing, you know? It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be.
Good. Some people think of improv as this super scary thing, but when we follow the rules of improv, really all it is like saying shit and knowing other people will say more shit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Such is life.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
I feel like there's always pressure to be funny. Maybe that's a lifelong issue I need to work on.
But with improv, it's sort of counterintuitive. The more people try to be funny, usually the less funny they are. Usually when people are really focused on what they're doing and who they're talking to and whatever scene they're in, the funny sort of is a result of them being really focused and in the moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. It's not like Michael Scarn being like, I'm going to shoot you. Keri won't get that because she doesn't watch The Office, but anybody who does will get that. So what does an exercise like Hotspot, what is that really supposed to teach us and encourage within us?
A lot of it, so the book is divided into 12 different lessons, and that lesson is about adding on to conversations. So there's a lesson about yes, like one of the improv rules is yes and. Like if somebody has an idea and they're like, I want to open up a dog bed and breakfast called Top of the Morning. Then maybe
I sometimes am over specific. I'm always extremely specific in my improv.
specificity is hilarious. Some people have this natural reaction to be like, no, I don't like that idea, or no, we could call it this. But in improv, scenes keep going because people say yes and so one of the things in the book is to apply that to real life, especially for things like business meetings. You don't want people in a brainstorming session to be like, nope, dumb, stupid, hate it. You need a moment where people are really able to feel creatively supported to come up with the best possible ideas. That's one part of the book.
I teach meditation, and the word yes, like they've done studies that say the word yes sets off like a neurochemical reaction in your brain. And then it's one of the most like uplifting things just to hear someone say yes. It doesn't even have to be you.
It's like a place of yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things in the book to start the yesing is to just start like nodding your head. They've done studies that just nodding your head puts you in a more like agreeable, positive frame of mind. And I try to do that a lot. If I catch myself, especially around my family, being like,
Yeah, it's like,
I try to be like, okay. And it helps me be like, I at least see where you're coming from. I might not agree with you, but
it's also like an affirmation that you simply heard them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't we all want to be seen and heard. Like I know I do. If I feel like my husband wasn't really listening, it sort of sets me off. Like I just want him to hear me. He does not have to agree with me.
What happened,
Yeah.
Ash? Are you eating your?
I have a hair or something. You know, I'm coming from a place.
I thought you were improvising. Like now we're doing a scene about eating. Yes. Like
sorry guys, it's just a hair. You know. So, how did you make this connection between improv and stress and anxiety? Because on one hand, it seems to make perfect sense. And on the other hand, it's like, how the fuck did you come up with this?
It also feels like sometimes it can be anxiety producing.
Exactly.
Absolutely. improv is, they are now seeing that improv is like a kind of exposure therapy. People that are socially anxious actually get rewarded for taking the risk of doing improv because people like laugh with them and it's a good time. But how I got into making this connection, I did my doctoral dissertation research on how improv affects the mind, and that got turned into an academic book. However, like I knew that improv was super beneficial for the brain. I knew that it helped people to calm down and be in the moment and be the best version of themselves. But I was walking around West Chelsea with my two little dogs, like cursing people out. I once got stuck behind two tourists and I screamed at them, "Are you walking or shedding your pants?" Like,
Been there.
that is not mindful. That's not
Right.
okay. Like there's something
It's
terribly
mind your
wrong.
business, not mindful yet.
Exactly. So I decided to take everything I knew about improv and its benefits and apply it to my life so that I could feel that sense of being free and in the moment when I was walking my dumb little dogs in Chelsea.
Dumb dog. Why? Sorry, I'm just going into an Annie moment.
Oh,
I've been singing
good.
musicals all day.
I wonder
Sorry,
why,
Ashley hates it when
Keri.
I do it. Ashley hates it. Okay. So one of the hardest parts of going through all this COVID quarantine stuff is we're getting caught in all the bullshit of everything, whether it's what it's on Twitter or somebody's annoying noise in the other room with your husband working or whatever. And so how can we use your techniques to help pull ourselves together when our kids are screaming and the very little noise of someone walking next door really bothers us?
Yeah, there's a game in there called Pet Peeve, Pet Pro. I feel like it's made for quarantine. And that the game was actually born from my dog. We're gonna keep talking about my dog.
Seriously, maybe you need to open the bed and breakfast.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
My little dog is 9 years old, and his little dog throat is like not a great little dog throat. He's fine. He's fine, but he hacks like all day, all the time.
Oh, mine does that too.
And it's vigorous. It's like vigorous hacking.
It's like,
Sexy. Yeah.
yes,
It's awful.
Ooh, Ashley, that was right into your mic.
you're welcome.
So Pet Peeve, Pet Pro came out of this idea of I'm going to take what annoys me every day and just flip it and turn it into like a superpower. So now when my dog does that, I think that my dog is the best hacker. Like he is the loudest, most incredible. Like it's what makes him special. Do I still get annoyed sometimes? Yes. But at least I have this other option. So a lot of the games in the book are things you can do when you're going here, when you're going there, when your kid is screaming at you, when you're, walking the dog, getting the mail. And that's why I feel like it's important for right now, because I don't have time. I know people like argue with me on this, but I feel like I don't have time to do yoga. I feel like I don't have time to meditate. I feel super stressed out. So these things are things that I can incorporate to what I'm already doing.
God, that's great. I just need to tell myself that my son is the best at being annoying.
Yeah.
And everything will be okay.
But also for me, it's about observing. Like Ella was having a bath a couple days ago, and she just will decide, like 3-year-olds do, like I'm gonna be a demon. And so she was screaming and screaming and screaming, and I just decided to sort of, practice what I preach, and I didn't do anything. I just went like this. I just looked there for 10 seconds, which is a long time when your kid is flipping out, and I just stared at her like, I'm gonna see how this plays out. And then after 10 seconds, she started laughing because that's a ridiculous face.
Right.
And she realized she was ridiculous. So I think a lot of the things in the book are about
Wow, that
stopping.
is so healthy.
Yeah, that really, I was just
I'm
like amazed
oh my
by
God,
that.
it is so healthy.
But for me, I need to stop like my bad habits. Like when I'm ramping up with my stress and ramping up with my anxiety, and I have to do this and I have to do that, and Ella is screaming and my husband wants this, I have to stop. Like there's no way I'm going to make a healthy choice if I'm in that ramped up, stressed out state. So I try to find playful ways that I can like break out of that, especially now that we're all in lockdown.
God, honestly, that's a really, really great, I guess, mindful tip. I get so caught up in just like feeling the feelings, and I can't get myself out of it. So I'm actually going to try that.
It's like a fake it till you, but different.
Yeah,
it is
exactly.
a lot of the stuff is kind of fake it till you make it, right? Of just like, I'm just gonna, it doesn't feel natural for me to like stare. Like what feels natural is to do what my parents would do and be like, I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't want to do that, right? I want to make a different choice. So I try to do something that feels unnatural. And also, I think this idea of observing our kids is important even when they're not being jerks. Like even when they're being playful, it's really great to step back and see what do they do on their own. I feel like I learned so much that way, and I'm better able to connect with her because I observe her when I get a chance.
God, that's
I love that.
very insightful.
This is why he's a doctor. That's why.
I mean,
it's obvious
point.
we're not doctors. Yes.
Again, welcome to our live stream. Okay. So I thought of my mom when I was writing this question, which is my mom is not a playful person at all. Like she'll joke and stuff like that. But if I said, hey, here's a book of improv for you to work on that'll help you with your stress and anxiety, my mom would probably throw it back at me. So, you know, what tips do you have to kind of, for those people that may be watching right now that feel like, you know, this isn't my bag. I don't want to do something like this.
People are already playing, right? Kids are already playing. Teenagers on the TikTok, us now on the TikTok, we're playing, right? It's super playful. So
the TikTok.
That's what the kids are calling it.
Right.
So it's already happening. So the first thing I would say is, do you want to join in or not? They might say no, that's totally fine. The second thing I would say is, the book isn't about games as in gathering the family to play a board game. It's really about paying attention to how you're thinking and feeling and playing around with. We're saying play a lot. I'm drinking.
I know. I've just been drinking. Matt hasn't wanted to interrupt. This is a very insightful conversation.
Okay. Valid. Thank you. But it's more about paying attention to how you're thinking, feeling, and what's going on around you, and then deciding what habits do I want to keep and which habits do I want to play around with and change. So it's not a book of like Parcheesi and Go Fish and stuff like that. It really is stuff that you can do totally on your own to get a little introspective, but in a fun way.
And if I may say so, I love the tone throughout the whole book. I don't, you think like, oh, it's by a doctor, but it is just very lighthearted, and you don't take yourself too seriously, and it's just like it makes it a very quick, enjoyable read.
Good, thank you,
Yeah.
Thank you. I thought it would be really hypocritical, just like I felt like a hypocrite when I got my PhD and knew how great improv was, but I was still a jerk. Like I felt like writing a book about improv and being playful and sounding really serious and better than anyone else. Like that goes against everything that improv is all about. Instead, I set out to create something that was like your best gay pal, like shooting the shit and talking about how you can have a less shitty day.
My question is that for your thesis, for your doctorate of improv, do you have to make it up on the spot?
I wish. It took me 2 years of like solid, like brutal work, but I got to go to Germany. I got to go to Chicago. I really got to go all over and do research, but I wish I could have improv that shit.
All right. So to give people more of an idea, let's play another game of compliment stew. Guys, my graphics
toil and trouble.
These graphics are just like,
yes.
If I may, toot my own horn. Okay, talk us through this.
Compliment stew is all about trying to prime ourselves to be more positive, right? And I'm not talking in the book about being like toxically positive, like
namaste, like that.
or like, oh, all these people died, let's like look on the bright side, right? That's like, no, some things are actually bad, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But we can choose positivity a lot more often, right? It's an avenue that we can explore. And so compliment stew in the book is just about giving out as many compliments as you can, but they have to be sincere. And that's it. But I thought it would be fun to play it here by complimenting our husbands, because sometimes we can get stuck in this cycle of like only seeing the worst because we see them all the time. We focus on maybe what they could do better or what annoys us. And so I would love to do like a lightning round, 15 seconds per person, where we just give as many sincere compliments about our husbands as possible.
I should have made a timer for this. I really dropped the ball, guys.
Yeah, no,
That graphic.
Oh,
okay.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Who's going to go first? Should it be Ashley this time?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, ready? Go.
Matt is A, smoking hot, B, incredibly supportive, C, very, very kind, D, loves the same television I do, which makes everything great. He is my best friend in the entire world.
That's fine.
I thought you kept going.
I know, that's good.
Love you, Matt.
Oh, Ashley.
All right, Keri, are you ready?
Oh, yes,
Again, I
I'm
had
gonna
2
burp.
days away from my husband, so it actually made it a little
It's
easier,
easy.
you know?
All right, Keri, ready?
All right. Yep.
Go.
Lee, my partner Lee, is one of the most interesting people I've ever met. Even after 5 years, he still tells me stuff about him that I'm like, there's so much to you. That sounded so weird. Anyway, just lots of depth. 2, he's one of the most generous and thoughtful people to his family. I talk too
15
much.
seconds is so quick.
I talk so much. I just
Well,
like
you
on
killed
the
time being like, you killed time being like, it's so weird.
All right, should I go too?
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. All right, Harris is super direct, and that has been so helpful for me to get more in touch with my feelings. He holds me accountable. He makes me a better person. He's been super supportive with the book and really actively seeking out how he could. Okay, I'm way over time. That's it.
Oh,
I know, I feel so bad. I feel like 15 minutes was too short. I'm like, I didn't even get to like the things about him being intelligent.
Well, put it in a note. Hand it later. But
Valentine's Day.
That's so nice.
But how did it make you feel to just focus on compliments?
Really good.
Nice,
Like really,
yeah.
it like actually was a perspective shift, I think. And not in regards to him necessarily, just an overall mood lifter, I'd say. Keri, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it makes like you start to move in a different direction. And it's also made me feel like, well, yeah, I should be doing that. So that feels good to do it. And it probably feels really good to hear.
I used to, when I was teaching, I taught middle and high school, I would write my students once a year extremely personal letters about all their attributes and things I admired about them. And I still, 5 years later, will hear from like a parent or from that student who's past college now about how much that simple act has meant to them. And so I now started doing.
That like makes me want to cry. I'm like a little bit choked up.
But it's such a little, I mean, it took a long time to do. I had like 120 students a year, but like for me, that's what it's all about, right? Like it's about shifting from being like, oh, I don't like being a teacher. It's hard work. It is. It's super hard work. But writing those letters, which took about a week, totally shifted how I thought about teaching. Like it totally reminded me of why I did it, which it can do for our spouses, right? It can remind us like, why are we doing this? For our kids, like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Karen says, Clay, where's my note?
What? What note? What?
Your love note about the things that you love about her.
Oh, that's a separate game. That's only to be delivered personally.
I really do love that game. I think, and I can't imagine having, anytime a teacher would actually pay me a compliment, it truly was like, I remember those things to this day. So, what a beautiful thing that you were doing. And I can understand why it makes people feel so good. And it's so obvious, it's such a like, duh.
It's not just good. It makes them feel supported. Like,
yes.
Supported together. Yeah.
Yes.
My whole thesis after doing the academic book and now this book is that we all just want to be seen, heard, and if we're seen and heard, that means we feel valued. That's all we want.
Yeah. God, it's so simple. Humans are so simple.
And yet so hard to find.
So complicated.
But we have to do the things, right? Like if somebody picks up my book and they read it cover to cover and they're like, oh, that stuff makes sense, nothing in their life will change. Like
Right.
I tried to create games that people would actually try so that they could feel that feeling or think that thought of like, how is this changing my life for the better?
I need a panel with you and Eve Rodsky, who wrote Fair Play, who's been on our show and a friend of Keri's.
She's
and
lovely.
She is wonderful. I need a panel with the two of you where you are just like teaching us how to revamp our personal lives. And I think we're going to try and do that if you guys.
All right. Here
Anyway.
it is. You've heard it first.
All right. Time for our game. We play it every week. It's just a little game of quick fire. We're going to ask you some quick off the cuff answers. Just give us your knee jerk kind of reactions to them. Okay.
I'm going to go first, Ashley, since this is your question.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
So, I know that it's Ms. Cracker, right?
Yeah.
Ms. Cracker did the virtual, book signing or book launch.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you love Drag Race. So if you were going to be impersonating someone in Snatch Game, who would it be?
I was just thinking about this, but I don't think I came up with an answer. I was thinking how hard it would be. I would do, just because of the appearance similarity, I would do Ron Reagan Jr.
Oh.
Google it. Google
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I'm just going to ask you to give us a taste of it, but do you want to give us a taste of it?
I would just bank on the fact that I really look like him.
And
So
Mama Rue would not like that.
I would definitely have to lip sync for my life.
yeah, for sure.
Maybe I could do Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, that's good. Can you give us a little taste?
Maybe I would be like, she does a lot of like. So ask me, like, what would I do? I'd be like, and then maybe I'd do the computer bit, right?
That would work.
I'd be like, and that's when I realized, when we wear hats, are the hats wearing us?
Oh, that was good. That was
Okay.
good. I could see
Wait,
that.
hold on. There you go.
You were also giving me a little Doogie Howser vibe.
That was great.
Okay, so who is your favorite or as we say, Kardashian?
Kardashian. I think my favorite is, I guess my favorite is, no, I'm kind of getting him confused. Chloe, I think.
I like Chloe too.
I used to love Chloe.
Wait.
She's the one that's with Tristan. She's with Tristan Thompson. Her dad may or may not be OJ Simpson.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Chloe. Yep.
So what is your go-to improv game when you are personally stressed?
I always go to the game I call It Like You Sees It, where you just walk around, you point to things, and you say what they are, which makes you seem out of your mind.
It's good for not getting mugged on the subway.
Just like, ha,
Robber.
I'm a chronic overthinker, and so it really helps me to stop overthinking, because you can't overthink about all the stuff you have to do today and also be really noticing what's going on around you. So that one I do many times a day to just catch myself overthinking, stop it, and see where I really am. I also love to play that one with my daughter, because she'll see stuff too. It helps her to be more curious about the world. And it helps usually generate like the next activity we're going to do. Like she'll be like, that's a cool mushroom. And I'm like, all right, let's play with like the weird mushrooms. You know, it's just sort of like.
That's what I'm going to do with my kid too. Ashley and I do it too. Just kidding.
As long as it's microdose.
Yes, exactly.
Not with your kid. Don't microdose with your kid. Don't do that.
It's so funny because one of my meditations that I do, or that I teach my meditation clients, because I'm a yoga meditation teacher, is that if you have an over anxious mind and you find yourself going and thinking the same thought, inundate your brain with as many thoughts as you can think of. Just like go through and be like, Teddy Roosevelt, Lady Gaga, bagels, cream cheese, like just go through all the random things, and eventually your mind will just give up and be like, oh God, this is exhausting. And you'll have moments of feeling nothing if you just like push new words, new thoughts into your head.
Yeah, when I try meditation and I try not to think, like that's the best way for me to think all the things
Right.
and feel awful. And so for me, it's much more about just noticing what the thoughts are and being like, oh, what's the next one going to be? Like move it
Yeah.
along. But it
Yeah.
also reminds me of the improv game, Seven Things. You have to like name
Oh, right.
seven,
Yeah.
name seven things. It's really hard to do. Once you name seven, you're like, I'm out. Like my brain is blank.
Yeah.
Which is a
Yeah.
good feeling.
Yeah.
Keri, you want the next one?
Sure. Have you ever have you ever improv'd your way out of a bad date? Before you met your partner, obviously, your husband.
I am weirdly okay with awkwardness in general. And so instead of sort of improving out of it, I would just like lean into it and just and just know like this is
You're
gonna
like,
be an
yeah, this date is real bad, right?
like I just would kind of because I could see that he was really like in a lot of pain at that point. But for me,
You should be
I'm
like,
like,
I'm in a lot of pain. I'm a doctor. I know these things.
I mean, I remember I used to be such a hot mess. I remember going on a date, and it was someone I really wanted to date because I think he had written the book for like a Broadway musical. I won't say which one because then
Okay.
you'll find out.
Yeah.
But I went on a date, and I was not going to cancel because I was like, here's my chance. I'm like 21 years old. He's 31, and in my mind, rich and famous.
Mm-hmm.
I got to make it happen. And so I definitely had. It was probably like pneumonia. Like I was really sick. So I just loaded up on Dayquil, like showed up, just sort of like, not really knowing what was going on. I could tell in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, he was like, this man is a crazy person. But he was kind enough to like not call it off right away. But I remember like thinking, this is going really badly, and I'm just gonna let it go badly. Like, that's it.
Well, our follow-ups were, what about a job interview or to get out of something?
I mean, counterintuitively, I'm not great at like improv, like making stuff up. Like I'm a really honest.
Like, I'm not good at lying.
I'm really not. Like I'm really just like this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about this one? What's the first thing that went out the window in quarantine for you?
My healthy eating.
And will you go back to your old ways once quarantine's over?
I'm trying now, but it's really hard. Like it's really hard.
Because there's no joy. There's nothing but food and alcohol.
I know. I like today, this morning, I was like, you are not going to eat a bagel with peanut butter. You're not going to do it. And then at 11:30, I was like, I'm really hungry.
I'm really going to do this.
And I have work to do, and food makes my brain work better. And I definitely ate a bagel with peanut butter. Like I can't, it's like I can't stop myself.
Listen, we have so
we
little.
Get it.
Yeah.
We get it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what is the weirdest Instagram account you follow? Like, for instance, I got on this like thing of following baby animals. That was like kind of odd.
Mine is called Read the News. I think there's some Z's in there. It's like a funny spelling, but it is news headlines with still shots from like gay pornography.
I love that.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I love that. I love that.
So everyone go find Read the News with Z's, okay?
Yes.
Clay, thank you so much. This was so fun. We had such a great time.
I just want to like have a sleepover with you. You're so fun.
I
Let's
know.
do it. That's like Ella. Yeah. Ella's always like, slumber party?
Yeah.
This is why the second that Karen introduced us, I was like, you have to come on this show. You're just great. Everyone go pick up your copy of Play Your Way Sane. Clay, tell the people where they can find you.
PlayYourWaySane.com. That's it. Or like Instagram, Twitter, it's just /PlayYourWaySane.
And you also have a newsletter, right? A monthly newsletter where you send people new improv games as well.
I'm always making up these new daily games. So you will get 3 free games if you subscribe at playyourwaysane.com. And then every month I'll send you a never before seen, straight from the dome improv game.
Ooh.
I'm going to sign up for that myself.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Will you come back? We gotta work on this Eve Rodsky, Clay.
We're going to work on that collab.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Let's make that happen. All right. Thank you so much, Clay. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
Fantastic. I enjoyed every second of that.
Lovely, lovely.
That was very fun.
Super fun.
Who would have thought? I mean, not that that's a surprise, but like,
how could a book be so fun?
How could he's a doctor for Christ's sake?
It's the hat. I'm like in a zone with your hat. When you just said he's the doctor for goodness sake, that was like very Maisel, and I feel like she would wear a beret as well.
I think she does wear a beret.
Oh,
I would feel to dress like Maisel. Anyway, let's move on to hashtag swag bag. Kara, do you want to start? You want me to start?
Yes, I'll start.
Okay.
So long time ago, I had decided that I couldn't really use a lighter. Guys, if you watch me use a regular lighter, it's the worst. I always like burn my fingernail. I can't like get the thing. It's a mess. So I was using matches and that's it. And I started to feel like I wanted to be more eco. So look at this thing. This is called the Reida, R-E-I. Can you see? No, I don't think you can see.
No.
R-E-I-D-A. Look at this shit. Okay. So it kind of looks like a vape. It's got a safety on the bottom. And when you press it, 2 little prongs that create like a little electric current come on, and you just hover it over whatever you're trying to light and it lights it up. And then you put the lock back on, and it is a USB, like micro USB, whatever it's called.
Like a iPhone-y thing.
Yeah. Well, no, it's big. It's like what you would use, like, to charge a camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like the smaller one. Anyway, and it was like $12 on Amazon,
right?
Yeah, it comes in a bunch of colors. I chose gold. And I just think it makes me feel safer than having matches everywhere, because I'm worried about my kid now. And I can't use this kind of lighter. So R-E-I, what?
I was going to ask you to spell it again for people.
R-E-I-D-E-A, Redia. I don't know. Anyway.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I think this lip is my color.
It's like the perfect stain.
It was a gift from my wife over here on the show.
That's right.
It is, anyone who listens to the podcast, you've heard Keri talk about this, but we haven't talked about it on the live show, and it is worth mentioning. It's called Wonderskin. Where do you get this, Keri?
Wonderskin.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is like this multi-part system. This is the color Romance. And this is the color on blue.
It goes on iridescent blue purple. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. And then you leave it on, you do a couple of coats, you spritz with this activator, which they need to work on the activator spray a little bit because it shoots you in the face. It comes
out too globby. Yeah.
Yes.
And it sort of feels like Listerine, kind of. Like stingy mint. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a weird process. But then the blue hardens, and apparently you're supposed to use this thing.
Well, you take it off and then you take it off like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it hardens and you peel it off, and then it's a lip stain, which Keri says hers lasted like 24 hours washing your makeup off and everything.
Yep.
And I just think, it's amazing, Karen.
It comes in a bunch of different colors. And I also sort of like, so I use it as a base for things. So you know how it's annoying when you have a really dark lip on and then like some of it comes off. So sometimes I'll use that as a base, and then I'll even put another different kind of color on top of it. Or it goes on wonderfully matte, like a bitten stained lip. But even with just like a light gloss over it, turns it into a different lip. I really like it.
I have this, this is like a joke between Keri and I that I'm going to fill you guys in on. I have this free Bar Method chapstick that I got somewhere from Bar Method, I assume.
A swag bag, I'm guessing.
But it is the perfect top coat to every lipstick for some reason. And I've just been using that on top, and it just is really great. But guys, Wonderskin, fantastic. How much is it, Keri?
I think it's like $20 bucks.
But it's totally
like 20 bucks. The only thing I have to say is I have now bought 2 different colors and both of them look almost the same. They were in the same family. One was just supposed to be lighter than the other. And I do know that in general, I have pretty naturally pink lips. So almost every color looks kind of dark on me. But I didn't notice a huge difference in the 2 colors. Maybe if I would have picked a color that was like really very different, it would look different. But the 2 colors I picked didn't look much different.
Well, we love it. We recommend it. I'm obsessed. I'm going to be wearing it all the time now. Guys, let's pick a giveaway winner.
Let's pick a giveaway winner. Let's
look. You want to check the, it's $32.50. That's the total. $32.50. Oh. Thank you, Karen. So one lucky person is going home with this while you're looking at the text, Keri.
Yep.
Anyone who wants to win and didn't enter, you can head to our Instagram account, Momtourage Podcast, tomorrow to enter to win. We're going to launch the giveaway there. And you really want this because it's fantastic.
Okay, so we have Tina Moras wrote in, and she said that she's been so annoyed with the sound of, what does that say? The sound of lawnmowers. That was spelled weird. Anyway, she's so overwhelmed with the sound of lawnmowers that she went out and screamed at the top of her lungs for everyone to shut the fuck up. Oh, I've been there, Tina. Ours is with, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Tina, I feel you, girl.
You don't have that many lawnmowers by you, though.
No, but I have street noise. I have garbage trucks at night and stuff like that.
We have leaf blowers, and the leaf blowers drive me crazy. And then they get leaves everywhere. Anyway, we're turning into curmudgeons. Tina, you are getting
going
this.
Home with this. Play Your Way Sane by Clay Drinko PHD. And you're going to enjoy every second of it.
Didn't we have multiple PhDs or multiple masters? Wasn't that the original?
I believe it was masters.
He's done a lot of school.
A lot of school.
Quite a good, yes.
I'm like, keep me as far away from school as humanly possible. I don't even want to send my kid to school.
What a mensch. Anyway, guys,
great show.
We're having an Instagram giveaway too, right? For the book?
Yeah, I said that while you were looking. Got it. I think. Tomorrow morning, check our Instagram account, follow us on TikTok, join our private Facebook group. We will not
rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. We're just going to ask you to do like 15 things right now.
Always. We will not be back next week. We'll be back the week after, February 11th, with our Valentine's Day show. And we are going to have Dana B. Myers and Jacqueline K. back because we had such a blast with them. Talking about all kinds of fun, love, sex stuff. So if you have a topic you want us to cover, send it on over. Thank you to Clay Drinko. Thank you to Matt, as always. We love you all, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Stay safe.
Ashley, can you pretend to be in a little box of insanity?
Matt, cut away. Cut away, Matt. Do it. Okay, that's our show today, folks. Thank you so much for giving us a listen. Please do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe. We are out here on our own, and these things really, really matter.
We want to hear from you. Tell us what you want to hear. Email us at momtouragepod@gmail.com.
Follow us on Instagram at Momtourage Podcast to hang out with us all week long.
We are here for you. You are not alone. We got you. So go ahead, girl. Know this posse is behind you and go slay. Momtourage is written and produced by Ashley Hearn-Smith and Keri Sotero. Recorded and mixed by Lee Mars. Our theme song, MILF, is by the band Mama Drama. You can find them on Instagram at Mama Drama Band or mamadramaband.com.